Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Leia, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite faith-based self-care habits that help me feel grounded, healthy, and connected to God. So whether you're dealing with hormone issues like endo, just trying to take better care of yourself, or wanting to bring your faith into your wellness routine, this is for you. So let's get into it. So first things first, as you can see, I typically start my day by waking up and rolling out my face with my ice roller. I tend to hold a little bit of puffiness in my face when I wake up, so this really helps drain any of that puffiness and again eliminate some of that inflammation. And I like to go in motion like away from my face towards my lymph nodes. The lymph nodes are usually sitting below the ears, and so you kind of want to roll in that direction, like towards your ears basically. My eyes tend to be a little bit puffy too when I first wake up, so I like to kind of hold it right underneath my eyelids and just kind of apply a little bit of pressure there as well. I find in general just having the ice roller kept in the freezer and then using that in the mornings, that drastic temperature change from warm to cold really helps shock my body in a good way of getting the day started and helping me feel more awake. But again, I just kind of like to do this for just a couple minutes, nothing too drastic, just going along the jawline and along the cheekbones, again, below the eyes, just any area where I feel like I just need to kind of help wake up myself up and help drain any puffiness from the face and help my face kind of do what it needs to do. Okay, so now following up with that, I'll usually go into my skincare routine. And my skincare routine is kind of extensive right now just because I'm still kind of figuring out typically what works best for my skin right now. My skin type has changed a lot in the last several years, and just kind of recognizing that my skin responds differently in different environments. And so I haven't quite found a routine that I love right now or that works for my skin. And I think it's one of those things that I also could have been paying attention to a lot earlier, but I just never did. I kind of grew up having really good skin, to be honest, and even into my early adulthood, my skin wasn't really something I had to typically worry about. I never really had much issue, so it's only been the last year or so where I feel like my skin has changed a lot, and I feel like a lot of the times in the past where I didn't have a consistent skin routine is now kind of catching up to me, so I'm just kind of finding new products to kind of see what my skin responds well to. But yeah, typically I'll just go in with like a toner first, and then I'll do some sunscreen on my lips, and then I'll give myself a kind of a refresh with this spray. I think it's called Kaija. I really like it, and it really lasts me a long time. This is really just time kind of to wake up my skin, wake up my face, and just get some moisture in right away. Then I'll go in with this bouncy serum by Laneige, and I really like it. I feel like especially now in my 30s, I am just trying to not recreate, but just kind of I don't know what I'm trying to say, trying to just support my skin to keep its bouncy texture. And so I feel like the serum by Laneige has really helped me, but again, I haven't really been on it for too long, so I can't really say how my skin really loves it. I've just been recently using it, I would say in the last month or so, but so far I really like it. I like how it feels on my skin, and yeah, you can kind of see as I'm putting on each of the products, I'll typically go along with my knuckles along my cheekbones and against my forehead, and kind of just going in upward motions and again towards the lymph nodes to help further drain my any puffiness from my face. And then I'll usually go in with a couple creams here. The first cream you saw is more of a restorative repairing cream, and that kind of helps with like fine lines and wrinkles. And then I just went in with this water bank moisturizer by Laneige as well, and that's just to kind of lock in the hydration. And then I'll go in with my tinted moisturizer / sunscreen. And it's really, really important, even if I'm just spending the whole day at home and just working from home, any light exposure to light, whether from the computer or lights, or even just the sunlight that comes through from the windows, it can still affect your skin. So you want to make sure that you are putting on some sort of protection and some sunscreen, regardless of whether you're going to be indoors or outdoors. So next, as you already saw, I'm going in with my blush, and I'll do just a very light makeup situation here. Nothing too crazy, nothing too heavy. The goal is just to look awake and to look fresh. So I'll just put on my mineralized blush. It's very light, very clean, and then I'll go in with my brow gel. I use one currently by NYX, but again, kind of similar to my skincare routine. I'm just kind of experimenting with what products are working best for my brows. I like to keep my brows pretty bushy and like unruly, kind of, for lack of better words. So I just haven't really found a product that I love to help kind of work with the brows that I have, because I do very much like the natural full look that I have, but I do want to make sure that like during the day I just kind of look clean and as presentable as possible. I'll do a light wing with the liner, and then I'll go in with my clean mascara by CoverGirl, and I love this mascara. It's my favorite. I will say it does run a little bit because it is clean and it's not waterproof, but it's not too bad. And then I'll usually go in with my NYX setting spray, but I mixed this with, I don't even know what the name of this brand is. It was gifted to me, but it's basically a moisturizing spray as well as a setting spray kind of situation. So yeah, that's what I do, just because again, I'm not wearing a lot of makeup, and then it was wash day last night, so I'm just kind of fluffing up my hair, and then if needed, I'll usually put oil in it and just kind of finger comb it from there. All right, so now it's time for some morning hydration, and usually I will do like a lemon sea salt water. But lately I have been feeling like my liver has needed a little bit of extra support and just some detoxing. So I've been making this milk thistle and dandelion tea every morning for the last week or so. And I feel like my liver has been responding to it very well. So I'll just do that with about 8 ounces of warm water, and then I'll take my iron supplement. Iron is really tough sometimes to absorb when you're eating certain foods that can block iron absorption. So I just found it's easier for me to just take it first thing in the morning. That way I know that my body's absorbing it and I'm not eating or consuming anything else that's gonna like contradict with it. And then of course, gotta start the day with Jesus. So I'll go into my prayer, journaling, and Bible reading time. And I usually don't like to rush this time because it's very important for me to really spend quality time with Jesus, really hear what the Lord is saying, really understand, or at least try to understand what I'm reading in the Bible at this particular moment. And then it's really just a moment for me to just have a slow morning to myself and really feel grounded and really connected to Jesus. And that really sets the tone for the rest of my day. Working out as early as possible in the day is something that's really, really important to me, just because with the hormone imbalances that I typically have, or struggles with endometriosis, my energy levels can be pretty inconsistent. And I found what works best for me is to just get my workout done in the morning, at least before noon. So my first meal will be something that's going to fuel my workout. So I'll do my CMOS that you just saw, just a gel. It's kind of like my multivitamin. And then I'll do Greek yogurt, and I'll mix that with a scoop of protein powder for some extra protein, and top that with some gluten-free granola, whatever fruit I have on hand, maybe a little bit of a drizzle of honey. I love adding pumpkin seeds as well. Pumpkin seeds are like a superfood when it comes to supporting your hormones. So I definitely recommend, if you're not already including pumpkin seeds into your weekly or daily nutritional habits, I definitely recommend doing so. But yeah, it's really, really important to start your day with a high protein breakfast. So aiming for anywhere between 25 to 30 grams of protein is going to be sufficient in terms of just, again, supporting your hormones, balancing energy levels, balancing blood sugar levels, and just overall having enough fuel to start your day and to support lean muscles. And then something I've been doing recently that has really helped with digestion and absorption of the food that I'm eating and the nutrients that is specifically in the food that I'm eating is incorporating digestive enzymes. It is something that I have recommended to a lot of my clients in the past just to help again with their digestion. And it is something that I've done in the past before, but because I was just taking so many supplements in the last year, it's something that I just picked up doing again recently. I also will take turmeric in the morning as well, and that really helps manage inflammation, especially inflammation related to endometriosis or any other hormone dysfunction related symptoms. Okay, time for one of my favorite parts of my day, and that is movement. Movement is just so good for the body, and especially if you're someone like me who's also struggled with ADHD, this is so good for your mental health, and just getting it done earlier in the day just sets the tone for the rest of the day and just feels so amazing. I decided to take a new workout class today. I'm typically not a class girly or a group fitness type of girly, but this boxing class was really fun. It was super intense and it was kind of just the push that I needed. I was super sore the next day, so it was an awesome workout, and at the end of the day I got to move my body, and that's what's most important for you. If you're not following a program, just getting outside or doing something fun that you love just to get those endorphins going, getting that blood flowing, breaking a good sweat, it just does wonders for your overall mental health and overall well-being. Okay, I meant to show this earlier, but I use a Whoop, and this is kind of in place of an Apple Watch that I used to use before, but I have recently become a data girly, and I just love the data that the Whoop gives. It is very similar to an Oura ring. I don't really like to wear a lot of rings in general, and I feel like the Whoop is more tailored and focused towards athletes and people that are into fitness. The Oura Ring's more like for wellness, I think. So what I love about the Whoop is it really gives me target strains, so it tells me how hard I should be pushing and how recovered I am in terms of my workouts and overall recovery. So it's really helped me up my fitness game. I also got it because I am someone who has struggled with sleep for pretty much her whole entire life. And since I got the Whoop a year and a half ago, it has really helped me improve my overall sleep. It just gives so much data. And so this is where I will log all of my workouts each day, and then I also make sure that I'm on track with my daily steps and things like that. The Whoop's really amazing. Okay, so now it's lunchtime, aka post-workout meal. I did wait to eat a little bit later, so I didn't eat exactly immediately after the class, and that's because I had a client session to jump right into. But it is important to fuel your body as close to the workout as much as possible. So if you can't do it right after you work out, within that hour following the workout would be ideal. And here I'm just eating a bulk prep that my husband and I did. So we bulk prepped some chicken breast, beans, and rice, all with like Puerto Rican flavors. It's just so yummy. And I think what would have made this meal just perfect would have been adding an avocado for some healthy fats, and again taking my digestive enzymes, because I do that with every meal, which is super important for digestion and overall being able to absorb the nutrients that I'm eating. And then I will take a vitamin D supplement as well. Even though I do prioritize going outside, vitamin D sometimes is hard to make sure you're sufficient in, so I like to make sure that I'm supplementing with things that I typically might be underhitting or insufficient with. And then now it is my absolute favorite time of the day. I know I keep saying that, but this truly really is like kind of the moment that I feel like I'm rewarding myself, and the moment that I look forward to, and that is making my matcha latte. You can see here that I waited until the afternoon, or at least waited until after my workout and after I've had a meal or 2 meals. And this is super important as someone, again, who has dealt with a lot of bloating and inflammation. I just find holding off on caffeine until like after your workout and after you've done like all your morning stuff, it really does wonders in helping your body just feel calm, again, help manage blood sugar levels and not overstress the body. And then it is really nice, like if you do get that afternoon slump, to wait to have it around that time without overdoing it on the caffeine. And yeah, I just love making this matcha latte. It's so good, and it's so therapeutic too. I feel like after I've had work, I've done my workout, I've met with my clients, and I've just had a very full morning, this is just a nice way to like remind my body like to slow down and remind my mind to kind of stay present in the moment. And this is just such a nice break in the day and just a nice routine to have. And again, as someone who has dealt with high stress levels and has contributed to a lot of bloating, I love that matcha has a way lower caffeine profile than coffee or energy drinks, but it also has an ingredient in it called L-theanine. And if you didn't know what that is, it basically helps manage stress levels naturally, so it's really great. And then I've been loving pairing my matcha with pistachio milk. It's just, I don't know, something about the pistachios, it just is sweet on its own, and so I don't have to add extra sweetener, which is also nice to kind of keep blood sugar levels down and just eliminate any excess sugar throughout the day. I like to take my matcha latte breaks outside on my rooftop, and this is just such a great way to get direct sunlight. So again, getting more natural doses of vitamin D. I'll use this time also to catch up on text messages, phone calls, or emails. And again, it's just such a nice way to get some fresh air, step away from my desk, and just kind of have a moment to be fully present and enjoy my afternoon treat. All right, it is 4 p.m. now, and it's time to make our afternoon protein shake. I do find it's a little bit difficult to meet my protein needs without having my daily protein shake. It is definitely possible, but you definitely have to be intentional. And just since today has been a more on-the-go day with doing the workout class and just kind of having a very busy morning with like work and clients, I use this time to supplement some of my protein intake with the protein shake. I'll also add in my creatine. Sometimes I do add my creatine into my matcha lattes, but a lot of times I do like to just have it with my protein powder if I am drinking a protein shake that day, just because it is better just for me to fully enjoy the matcha latte without throwing too many other ingredients in there. But yeah, my protein powder has 30 grams of protein, and then if you're looking for a really great creatine, I suggest using my code STRONGBABE and getting 20% off at Legion. Okay, now it's 8:30 p.m. and it's time to take my magnesium supplement, and I usually will like to take this about 2 hours before bedtime. It is pretty strong, so I try not to take it too far in advance, and I usually will take 120 to 240 milligrams. This magnesium glycinate specifically helps with muscle recovery, deeper, better sleep, and overall stress. And then I'm making this sort of a nighttime tea slash wellness drink. I don't know quite what to call it, but I'll usually either do like warm water or warm almond milk. Tonight I'm doing coconut water for just extra hydration, and I'll usually put in collagen powder, cacao powder, and then L-glutamine. And the collagen is just for extra protein and then supporting hair, skin, and nails. Cacao is for more magnesium and antioxidants, which are great for eradicating any free radicals and getting rid of stress buildup. And then the L-glutamine is for supporting overall gut and repairing any gut damage and things that I've just been experiencing. This has really been helping me manage and minimize the bloating that I get because of endometriosis. Okay, and final habit of the day is plugging my phone in a separate room from the bedroom, and this does wonders to support your overall circadian rhythm. It's just not the greatest thing to fall asleep looking at your phone, or worst case, doom scrolling. Just think about what that does to your overall mental health and eye strain and just stress levels and all the things. So I usually will fall asleep journaling if I didn't get time to really journal much in the morning, and or reading a book, and it is just the best way, in my opinion, to be able to relax, calm your body, calm your mind, and not overstrain the eyes or the brain right before you fall asleep. I hope you found these tips helpful and are able to take some of these habit inspos and create your own self-care habits throughout your day. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.